If documentary is to document our world as it already is, fiction is to fantasize about how it could be. In that sense, architecture is the fiction of the real world. So turning dreams into concrete reality with bricks and mortar. Architecture is the canvas for the stories of our lives.
Architecture gives everyday experiences in a way of being specific about perpetual frames and horizon of understanding. Every space, place, and situation are tuned in a way which can project atmosphere that promotes distinct moods and feelings. Architecture has the ability to manage and maintains the particular resonance of such experiences. Throughout history, architecture has stood as a representation of society, reflecting the values, successes, and eventual downfall of the civilization over time. From the monumental structures to the residents and buildings that makes up the fabric of the city, we can learn a lot about who the people were who inhabited them long before our time. By studying the built environment of past, combined with modern-day research on psychology and environment, we are coming to understand the effect of architecture on people in entirely new ways. Which begs the question, how does architecture influence on human experience?
Studies have shown that any environment, built or natural, can positively or negatively impact our mood, our behavior, our well-being, our health. Just for a small example, if a city is designed well to have a very good environment, even the crime rate decreases. That powerful architecture or design is.
Most of the time, architecture is something that pursued as a response to need, a need for shelter, security, fellowship, work, healing, or learning. Therefore, architecture not only affects society on high level, but also on more personal level. It can have a profound impact on its occupants. Everything from the layout of space to the material finishes, it can contribute towards occupant health, mood, and productivity, which influence the resulting human experience. There are some notable architects who practice phenomenology in their design process, who have been emotionally able to connect with the user through their design. Jewish Museum Berlin by Daniel Libeskind is the excellent example of human experience in architecture. Here, he has been able to establish a strong connection between physical, spiritual, and historical meaning into consciousness and memory of Berlin through the incorporation of events and the horrifying tale of Holocaust, which is translated into abstract elements, voids, and erasure of Jewish life in Berlin.
The great works of architecture express feeling. When you visit and see them, there's a transfer of feeling from the artist, the architect, over time, through the ages, to now.
According to Frank Gehry, an architect's goal is to endanger an uplifting and positive experience through the design. He attempted this with the design of Walt Disney Concert Hall, creating a space in which a reciprocal relationship between the feelings of musician and those of audience could flourish. He concisely tried to understand what would make the performers and listeners feel comfortable.
建築が持つ命は何かと言いますと、この箱の中に入ってきた人たちのいわゆる心がワクワクすると、 心がなんか生きててよかったなというような感動を持つような建築を作らねばならない。
With the design principle of modernism, Tado Ando has developed a unique building language that makes use of concrete, wood, water, light, and space, all in harmony with the nature. The simplicity of his architecture emphasizes the concept of sensation and physical experience, mainly influenced by Japanese culture.
I think in architectural design, the most important skill that one needs to focus on is how to stimulate the experience of a physically non-existing space. This calls for developing user empathy and insight of the user's behavior. And it is not only based on theories, but on facts, dreams, beliefs, knowledge, and temporal dimensions. And that is a major challenge.
We seldom question the architecture, environment, and space around us and how they make us feel. We live somewhere that look like this. We study somewhere that look like this. We work somewhere that look like this. And we travel every day locked up in this. I am always amazed at our bee-like existence when I walk in the busy street of Kathmandu, where incredibly crowded buildings cover the sky and landscape. And narrow bendy street corners always take me by surprise. One thing I recurred subconsciously but never registered the fact that I could go the whole day without seeing the horizon in these cities.
The city is riddled with monotonous cubes without any distinct essence. Add to those immersing massive buildings devoid of any design. Our brain will definitely have a reaction to this, a kind of unmotivated expression to be in that place.
During the educational tour and studies in different parts of Nepal, apart from the concrete jungle of cityscapes, I got the opportunity to explore the architecture that was potentially full of experiences. That's when I realized how much the space we are in influences the way we feel and the way we act. Now, contrast this with the steel-like structures, the tall cubes of any major cities where the people are expected to study, work, and live in contentment.
Colin Allard, a researcher in University of Waterloo, Canada, studies the psychological impact of city design. One, Allard's most consistent finding is that people are strongly affected by the building facades. If the exterior of the building is complex and interesting, it affects the people in a positive way, and negatively if it is simple, featureless, and monotonous.
If we, feed good stimulations to our five senses, if we feed good informations to our five senses, it helps the brain form or interpret experiences as good.
Architecture also can be regarded as a field that exists to fulfill human needs. So, to design an architecture object where humans are the center of design thinking in pursuit to fulfill human needs, yes, I think we must understand human emotion, behavior, feelings, and experience which are undeniably necessary.
Therefore, our further research will explore Nepalese context of human experience in architecture and its importance, especially in city area, based on case studies, site visits, survey, discussion with experts, and analysis of findings, which would help resolving the problems of human experience in Nepalese modern architecture.